about to be hot. Dave Shield getting the fellas watch us stir up the pot. Hot topics, put your mind at ease. We talking about everything, especially the shit that you need in our community. Never miss a show that be truancy. We all got opinions on the show, I be doing me. Wayne with the sports, real topics with real men. Welcome to the Mancave, step right in.
Welcome all to the Mancave. It is I, Big Dave, and I am him. What is going on? We got a great panel today. We're going to be talking about the effects of this crazy virus that is out here, Mr. Rona, where you get the hell up out of here so we can come back outside. So we're going to be talking about that, and our first guest to my right is going to be the lovely Miss Patricia.
Well, hello, y'all. How are y'all?
Teachers are talking.
Teachers
How are you?
are talking. We're not doing too much. Well, we are talking, but we're talking on Zoom right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you that don't know, Miss Patricia does host a podcast called Teachers Are Talking.
Yes.
We're going to talk to her a little bit about the state of, let me cut my phones and ringers down, jeez. But we're going to talk to her about the state of these kids getting back to school, what kind of effect it's going to have on them. And if you guys want to call, once again, their phone number is 203-802-KMWI-5694. This is our first show back, so we even got a little bit more of a surprise for you guys, seeing as though it's the first show back. We wanted to bring a special guy here, you know, Future sitting straight across from me, mask on, mask off, Mr. Shaqreet. What's up, Shug?
What up? Boom, 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 boom. What's up, man? We back up in this thing, dog.
What's going on, bro?
Man, another day in the life, man. Can't complain. Thank you for inviting me back, bro.
I know, you came your ass outside.
I know, I came outside finally.
You've been locked in, bro.
Locked in. You know, when you living with your parents and everything in your mama's basement, you know, you gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't playing. And I'm trying to get you to come out and go downtown.
Nope.
Not doing it.
Not today.
That's what's up. Well, let me ask you guys a question. So, COVID came in, and I mean, this has definitely opened up everyone's eyes into, you know, just how lucky we have it, how much freedom we do have, and with that being taken away, what kind of things do you guys appreciate more about our society, and just in general, what do you miss about society in general?
I miss the options. If I want to go somewhere, I can go. If I choose to, I can. If I choose not to, it's my choice. But just having that option instead of someone saying, "Oh, you can't go to the store." Well, I want to shop today. You know, I'm not really a shopper, but just having that option to say, you know, today I want to go in a store besides a grocery store.
I need Ross back on ASAP. How about you, Shug?
Man, you know what? I miss being able to see people and just being able to socialize. You know what I mean? And just being able to just interact. You know what I mean? With just your friends and your loved ones, and do some hood rat shit with your friends. You know, I miss doing stuff like that. You know?
I understand that. I think for me, I can't. I'm coming out of this with a more of an appreciation for just the climate of just being like, you know, being able to smile at somebody.
Mm.
You know, I mean, the fact that, you know, 3 months ago, if we would have walked into a convenience store with a mask on,
yeah.
you know, the police would be called.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I mean, I'm 6'2", big dude, dreads. I mean, I got a mask. I look like Ninja Gaiden walking into these stores, especially at work. And like, I haven't heard anything about muggings.
Nope.
I haven't heard any robbings.
Nope.
I mean, not a big string of them or anything like that. Not what you would think with everyone walking around with no mask.
Right.
I mean, doesn't this also, you know, say something about society today that, you know?
Exactly. And also, like, you know, being that a lot of these businesses are closed, like there's been no break-ins. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But I have noticed, like, living in Arlington, that there has been like a heavy police presence. I don't know if that's the lack of activity. Maybe the police don't believe like people are this calm that they have to go out in the street. But also like the fact that it's a show of force in a kind of way. So it's kind of like a negative and a positive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
I've seen the presence, but I haven't seen a lot of people being pulled over.
Right.
You know, it's just I'm here if you need me. But you don't see a lot of activity. You don't see a lot of things. You don't see a lot of movement. A lot of times it's 4 o'clock in the evening and it looks like it's midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because of the stale.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about opening up? I mean, the reason we're on the show now is because Texas, the great state that we live in, has decided that we're going to open the doors. So, because they decided to open the doors, I said, hey, let me get back out here and do this podcast for the people. You know what I'm saying? So, how do you guys feel about opening back up and gradually doing what we do?
I'm not comfortable with going back to school because I know I have a class of 30 plus.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we can social distance 30 plus kids in one classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I can't guarantee those kids coming in will wear a mask.
Right.
I can't guarantee that they do not have anything because we're more susceptible to things than other people because of our kids and where they're at and where they go. And but I'm not comfortable with that being that close with 120 kids a day.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also like we have to take our precautions too, like tread water lightly. So it's kind of, even though you have to take the same approach that you would do when you're going into Walmart, which is kind of weird though, because you're in Walmart, you surrounded with all those different types of people. My thing is, I've always been a hygiene freak anyway, a little bit OCD when it comes down to it.
Right.
But there's no guarantee that the person that you're coming in contact with at work or in school or out in the street are washing their hands properly.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing that
Kids
I'm
do
a little,
not.
I'm a little bit more conscious oriented towards that.
I want to go back to the schooling for a second, because that was one of the reasons I asked you to come on the show, because a lot of parents, including myself, we're wondering about the at-home curriculum, how much this is going to count, what, is this going to hold these kids back? What's going to happen next year if they do start going to school? Do they start off a 10th grade curriculum? Are we going to refresh? This is something that never happened. I mean, can you shed any kind of light on that?
I can, and I'm one. Teachers are talking, so I like to just tell what it is. So, most kids, as long as they're working, they're going to pass.
Right.
Because most districts have put in a pass or fail. I mean, because you can't really grade and say, hey, this child got a 60, blah, blah, blah. I mean, because there's all kinds of circumstances where a kid doesn't have internet or whatever the case may be. But I know they're still trying to hold out to see what's going to happen over the summer. Yeah. And to see if we're going to start on time.
Right. So
that's going to also determine where the kids will start. They will start in the next grade level, but you got to think. Well, a lot of people may not know that schools they start off teaching to the test.
Right.
We don't have a test this year.
Exactly.
Ooh,
yeah.
So a lot of things are gonna be determined by what happens this summer.
What happens to student athletes?
That's a thing as well.
Wow.
And graduations.
Yeah.
Credits.
I mean, this is really, listen, if any of you guys out there have any knowledge on this or want to ask any questions, please give us a call, 203-802-KMWI, that's 5694. We'll be happy to take your call. Man, I just think about the lasting effects that this is going to have on juniors and seniors that are this year. Seniors are going to miss it all.
Yeah. Prom.
There's kids going to miss scholarships. There's kids that's going to miss opportunities to get scholarships or to be seen.
Well, some of them will and some of them won't. A lot of people, everything's moved to virtual. So their scholarships are still based upon you having a virtual tape, you sending in things that you're doing virtually. Yeah,
but I mean, there's still a year here that there's going to be no tape.
Well, some of them should have already had something.
Right. Yeah.
You send in what you had.
Yeah.
or like some people are still working out and doing all these trainings and they're recording and sending that in. But if you were playing football, you should have already had your football season.
Now, what are they doing for teachers who are, because basically you guys are essentially out of work right now?
No,
so,
we're still working.
I mean, you're still, okay, so you guys are still getting paid.
We're still getting paid,
right?
and we're working more now than we did. Because,
doing it from home.
Yeah, because like I have kids call me all day, all night, sending me text messages all day, all night.
And how different is that process?
It's a lot different because now it's more personal because they have my phone number. we interact from home. They can see what's going on in my house.
Right.
Oh, miss, you have a dog. Oh, are those your kids?
All of in your business.
Yeah, miss, and a lot of times we're getting up, we're like, okay, I gotta get up, let's just go to work, and no makeup,
Yep.
At school we can separate house, private life, but online you're not separating anything. They are literally in your business.
And I think now parents have more of appreciation for teachers right now, because actually my nephew came and stayed with us like the first 3 or 4 weeks that we went into quarantine. And I can tell you, trying to get him to focus on anything was virtually like impossible. And I'm like, how are you guys going through school and doing this the whole time? Is this how you teach your teachers like this? It's
Right.
crazy.
And that's the thing that I can say, there's a great appreciation for teachers now, and they actually see what we really do, because parents always say, no, Johnny doesn't do that. Johnny is doing
Bad.
all of that, because now they can see the lack of focus or how their child learns, because a lot of parents do not know, my kid actually needs to learn like this, or my kid doesn't learn like this, and now they see, oh, this is what your teacher was talking about, this is what we have been talking about.
And with the mobile devices too, is kind of it could be used as a tool to make the learning experience better.
Right.
But they're using it to Snapchat. And I'm like, if this is what you're doing at school, then you're definitely missing out on lessons. And it kind of like, it makes me feel like this is just what I've witnessed with my own eyes, So I just kind of, I'm wondering if there's going to be like a lack of education as they get older. Like, did you miss out on something? To me, like, let's say like high school, this probably should be one of the easiest phases of your life, I would think. Like, as you get older, you think back like three years of high school, but I'm not really sure if the younger generation are taking that aspect of it seriously. And the fact that the way that COVID-19 hit, like, I don't really think that they took it as more of a vacation versus more as like, yo, this is an opportunity for you to learn different things and to focus more into your school.
And a lot of it, the reason why it's a vacation is because the parents don't know what to do at home. And the parents are not equipped to know, okay, this is how your child needs to go through this process.
And a lot of them are at work.
Yeah,
that being one of the biggest factors.
Yeah, and some of but the funny thing that I've seen and I've noticed is that a lot of my students that struggle at school are blowing it out of the water at home. They are doing a phenomenal job. But the ones who are very compliant at school, they come in and do the work, they're doing nothing at home.
Wow.
Nothing.
Straight swap.
And that's because at home, their parents are probably more active, because we started looking and trying to figure out, why are these kids, there are kids that excel, but if we think about it, at home they're with their parents. Their parents are taking them places, they're doing this and doing that. Some of the parents are thinking, this is vacation. We've had a few tell us that. And then the other kids, they don't have anything else to do at home. And so this is their time, because they'll hit me up 1 a.m. Hey, where's the lesson? What do we have to do?
Wow.
And it's like, it's 1 in the morning.
They are playing Fortnite.
They're playing Fortnite.
It's all good. Well, in America, in the United States right now, we have 1,212,835 coronavirus cases.
Wow.
69,921 deaths, and 188,027 people have recovered from the virus as of today. With those being the numbers, how do we confidently open back up without a virus? I mean, a cure for the virus, medicine for the virus. How do we open up confidently?
I don't think it's confidently. I think it's a part of just saying we have to get our economy back, and taking that risk of saying, hey, let's jump out here, get the economy going, and hopefully we'll cross our fingers that it doesn't spread more. And but I don't think, honestly, when you have that many cases,
right?
And it was just like I was reading.
300,000 is in New York. I mean, the list is going to be that northeastern quadrant is leading the way. Is New York, New Jersey, and they have 327,000 is New York, 130,000 for New Jersey, and then it drops significantly to Massachusetts Illinois, California, and Texas is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states down with 33,000 cases, 915 total deaths.
But if we were able to test, how do you think the numbers would change?
They would fluctuate
Drastically.
like
Exactly.
crazy.
Because a lot of people are asymptomatic.
Exactly. Because that meat packing company.
That's what you are, right, Kenny? The voice of God.
But see,
Kenny had that shit.
okay,
You tried
like,
to lie.
the thing is like I'm just not really like. Do you think it was created in a lab, or do you think it was something that was actually foodborne or something like that?
Or animal born?
Well, it said that, what they're saying is that it came out of
Let's talk conspiracy.
a Wuhan biological lab in China.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two theories. One theory is that it came from a bat
Right.
that was kept in the facility, sold off somewhere, and then somebody ate that bat at a wet market, and that's how the coronavirus got transmitted. The other story is that something broke out of the Wuhan lab. This was a biological agent that America's government was working on.
And sent over there.
Yeah,
sold. Yeah.
So
and that's been proven.
yeah,
Yeah.
That the lab was there at least.
Yeah.
but there was a scientist that took a hit for it, right? Some scientist from like I think Harvard or Stanford.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
he took a hit for it.
He went down for it.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is like I just don't want to hear anything about it coming from it, like people eating bats. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I just don't think somebody in 2019 decided, hey, I want to eat a bat today.
Well, all flus come from animals anyway. Swine flu,
Mm.
And all of
Bird
those
flu.
bird
coronaviruses
flu,
of
all of
some
them.
sort.
Yeah, they all come from animals.
You're right, they're
Yeah,
all
actually, yeah.
coronaviruses of some sort. I think that some of the biggest things people have been talking about, like it's coming from 5G towers, that's asinine. Yeah, of course, the radiation.
That was in the beginning, like people were saying.
I mean, radiation sickness gives you about the same, what's the word I'm looking for?
Symptoms.
Symptoms
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
as COVID.
Yeah.
So it makes sense on paper,
Yeah, on paper.
but that's not happening. Now, the one that I did hear about that I mentioned to you guys before the show.
Yeah. Talk about that one. That's a good one.
Certificate of Vaccination ID, COVID. COVID, Certificate of Vaccination ID, 2019, COVID-19. So the conspiracy theorist says that COVID-19 actually stands for Certificate of Vaccination ID, which is going to be their way of tracking everybody. This is what they say.
Mhm.
But it adds a lot of credence when you hear people talk about you're going to have to get vaccinated and show your papers in order to go into businesses and get seen. I mean, let's think about it. I'll call out some businesses. You tell me how we share barbers.
Oh yeah, that's like
Yeah.
hand in
We
hand.
share what?
Yeah, you're sharing clippers,
Clippers,
hand,
combs,
yeah, everything.
brushes.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We go to the bowling alley. What are we sharing?
Shoes. Yeah.
Shoes, balls. No homo.
Okay, yeah.
But it was okay for you.
It's
like,
great
nah.
for me.
But
No
at the same
problems.
time, is that playing into the whole hypersteria or the whole type of fear? Because if this thing, like, let's say, the only thing is like not everybody wash their hands though, man. You know,
No.
not everybody wash their hands.
I mean,
You know, like, okay, before this whole COVID virus became a thing, people used to make fun of like the Asian community when they're sick in terms of wearing face masks. But now everyone is wearing face masks. And I've worked in the healthcare industry, and I know enough to like, hey, if I have a cold or something, in order to prevent me sharing the cold, I need to wear a face mask.
Well,
I would have
okay.
coworkers telling me that I look like a cancer patient, which I was
Right.
like thinking like I'm doing my due diligence. This is way before this even.
yeah, but I mean that mask, you got your N95 mask, KN95, and your cloth ones,
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
They're not going to stop you from getting
Nothing.
corona, right?
No. That's what. No, not. It's a
They say
virus.
you can get that through your eyes.
Yeah, I know someone who got it through their eyes.
Yeah, I saw a lady at the store with a mask with a built-in visor.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
But if she's short, then it doesn't.
Right. It's got to be like a dome across your head or something. Man.
Wow. So you can actually get it in your eyes.
You can get it,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the most common way to get it.
And
You know, it's kind of weird. I had pink eye this school year 3 times. I've never had pink eye, but I caught it 3 times this school year from November to January.
Yeah, that's the most common way to
And
get it.
I'm thinking, where am I getting pink eye from?
The mask is for the people that's around you.
That's how I
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, what did you said you
Yeah,
got
January.
antibodies or something, Kenny. What's going on?
Okay.
Kenny, the voice of God, y'all.
All right, I possibly have antibodies because.
Turn your mic on.
Oh, man, it's possible. You was trying to sell them last week.
Is my mic, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you now.
So, I had the flu, right?
Mm-hmm.
The flu went away. About maybe 7, 8 days later, I had pneumonia.
I told you he had that COVID, Slim. That was
So-
before COVID came on the
But-
scene.
A lot of people had it.
But just think about it. Yeah, I was checked into the hospital just for 5 days. But the whole time, from the time I got sick to the time I was actually better, there was only 9 days.
Right.
So then I was completely cleared. So I'm thinking, yeah, it was the pneumonia. I got tons and tons of antibiotics to kill that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Nothing else after that. Haven't been sick after. Matter of fact, my lungs are clearer now than they've ever been before I even got sick.
You didn't have any problem with your lungs when, I mean, I'm sure, you know, other than a common issues.
Common
no
issues, that was
serious.
it. Never.
Yeah, 'cause
All my
this-
life, no bronchitis, nothing. Ever.
Yeah, they're saying this, what happens is it goes in you and then it embeds itself into your lung tissue.
Right.
Wow.
It starts to
Starts to eat away.
eat away at it
Yeah.
and it
It's
just,
like a cancer.
it barrels itself deeper.
Right.
And it ends up inflaming them, and your lungs flame up so much that you can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why people with hypertension, diabetes, smokers who have damaged lungs, like myself, you know, we are, you know, more susceptible to passing from it, you know, to dying from it, you know. And I mean, this is you know, first we thought it was an old people thing, you know, we're just trying to protect people who are older, but this is actually affecting people our age, your age, right?
Yeah. Hold on, I want to bring that back. Someone said that, what are they doing to fulfill 504 and SPED minutes? Is that something?
Okay, yeah, that's for teachers.
Okay.
Actually, matter of fact, I had a meeting this morning for a 504 and a special ed, the SPED.
Oh,
That's a special
special ed,
educator.
okay.
Yeah, we have Zoom meetings.
Okay.
So to accommodate their hours or whatever, we have students come on Zoom and we give them their services through Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool. Your sister just said all the food gone.
It's Ramadan right now. You know, actually, Ramadan and this whole COVID thing is really tough, to be honest with you.
Why?
It's
How
different.
so?
Well, it has this one is like when you're at home, you know, you got your COVID snacks that you just in the house, you just snacking on them
Right.
like that. So when you're fasting, you're stuck in one place, so you really have to focus your mind on doing certain tasks. You know what I mean? But also, it's like you can't meet up with your friends after
Right.
and go out to eat after, so you're like basically confined to the home 24/7, even after they left everything, like without eating. You know what I'm saying? That whole aspect.
I haven't been paying attention. I've been finding things to do.
Yeah, I mean, of course you just have to. You know, some
Yeah,
people have been fixing their yards, you know, cabinets. I've seen people remodel, putting gyms in their garages and those type of things, picking up musical instruments for the first time and or forever. So
Yeah, we're
you
doing.
you tap into that left side or that creative side of your brain, and you just start to kind of.
Well, I mean, some good activities are just like fishing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Just going out by the water. You know, I did that this weekend. Just go out and just be by the water. You know, and I understand that, you know, people are trying to social distance and people want people to quarantine, but you know, we can only take it so far. Just a month ago, we were all hugging, kissing, and you know, smoking hookahs together and passing blunts around and shit. And now all of a sudden, you know,
you're isolated by
You can't do that
yourself.
no more. You can't.
you scared of me.
Yeah,
now.
you know, like,
You can't come over
give
to
him
the
the elbow,
crib.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Here,
right.
take that elbow right here, you know what I mean? But
it's crazy, man. But you know, it's a necessary evil because this virus is real. Like I have a friend of mine who actually almost passed away from it, and I talked to him. He was supposed to call in today. I should have called him, but he was supposed to call in and talk about it. He almost passed away from it, man. And he caught it and just fell out and went into a coma. And then he woke up out the coma. And they put him back in the coma because he couldn't breathe. And I mean, he said it got to him to the point where he's got to relearn how to walk.
Oh wow,
Oh, man.
Not enough oxygen to the brain.
And he saw, just being laid up for so long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said that he saw so many people coming in and
Not
pass
make
away.
it.
Not
Yeah,
make it.
and you know, one of the things that you the youth have to think about is, to them they think they're invisible, like nothing.
Yeah,
Yes,
invincible,
invincible.
You know
yes.
what I mean? And a couple of times, you know, I had to like kind of talk to my youth and let them know, like, you know, things might go and pass you, you know, and you might not see it as affecting you, but when you come around older family members, you are increasing their risk of getting sick. You
Right.
know, so it's more of a responsibility that they have to like learn how to step up and take. Like, hey, hopefully it doesn't last forever, but for the time being, you need to be respectful of your elders.
Well, when do you have it ending? When do you think this will all be over?
Well,
When
I
do
mean,
normal-
if we would have done things the proper, I don't think Texas actually officially closed. I always felt like the city was moving around. Like I always,
So you don't think Trump did a good job with?
it never really shut down. Like there was.
Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead, brother.
I don't think it ever really shut. Walmart stayed open. You know, all these other stores.
But those
stayed
are
open.
essential
Essential.
business.
Those are essential businesses.
So-
but is that
so-
does that constitute a real shutdown?
So basically, I want to.
I mean-
so now, essential workers are essentially expendable people.
Yeah.
Is what we've basically come up with, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Most essential jobs 3 months ago, a lot of women wouldn't date you if you had.
Yeah.
Don't work at
Grocery
Walmart.
store, Walmart. I mean, I'm just being honest.
warehouse.
Yeah, true.
You understand what I'm saying?
You drop
Now
corner.
you're
Now
the only
you
person.
going essential.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
Where
Like,
the flip. Yeah.
this was like a good way of making us feel good.
Yeah.
Shit, you're essential.
That's true. I mean, but going back to what you were saying, that it's not an official shutdown if we had, because we have Walmart open, we had grocery stores open. But if we were to close them, then what's going to happen to the people?
Exactly.
Yeah. So-
You gotta eat.
Yeah, because it's not like we have garden beds, gardens in our house, at our houses. It's not like we have markets that were open. You know, we couldn't get fresh produce. We couldn't get any type of groceries.
Toilet paper.
Oh, let's
still
not talk
don't
So
about
understand.
this should also wake a lot of people up to being a little more self-sufficient.
Yeah,
Self-sufficient,
When it
exactly.
comes to things, because you have to think about it, man, we are just getting a warning shot. This
Yes.
is a warning shot.
Yes.
This isn't the worst that it could be.
No.
Yeah, most definitely.
No.
This is a warning
No,
shot
that's it.
to say, hey, motherfuckers, wake up.
Get your
Yeah.
stuff together.
But the new normal,
Yeah, it's
we
different.
talk about this, the new normal is that people are going to become more health conscious.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, I think we talked about it on my show last Monday, the people who are coming down with this coronavirus and actually dying from it, there's more people in the United States. You read out the numbers.
Yeah.
More people, and why is that? Because of our health, the things we eat, our intake. And because of all those reasons, we're dying more than anybody else, anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Because our immune system's already been contaminated, weakened, short, whatever it is.
I mean, it could be a conspiracy, maybe the biological
Population
weapon that they was doing was supposed to fuck with the melanated people.
But you know, I've also
we weren't getting that.
How about that?
At
We
first,
were
weren't-
asymptomatic.
We were asymptomatic.
Yeah,
We
in
weren't
the
getting
Nah,
beginning.
they wanted you to believe that shit, so you would go
Well,
outside.
you know, there was also another conspiracy theory
Mm.
that, and this is something that came out in a movie years ago too, that jet planes in the fuel and the exhaust were releasing into the atmosphere.
Crop dusting.
Crop
Crop
all
dusters,
that.
yeah.
But no, I'm talking about the actual airlines.
Right.
So a lot of the routes, those people got sick.
So I mean, coronaviruses have been around forever.
Yeah.
And many of them.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
Like
Yeah.
30 or 60.
I
Well,
mean-
they said that this one has morphed,
Yeah, it's mutated several times.
and that's why they're so afraid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, because now they're saying that people in their 30s and I believe 40s, now it's changed to where they're getting blood clots.
Right.
And now that's the new thing that they're trying to catch. Why are they getting blood clots and dying from the clots?
And our hospitals won't be able to handle
No.
the volume of.
So what happened in New York? All them bodies in that morgue
Yeah.
sitting out in trucks.
Yeah, those U-Hauls.
Right.
So
So going forward, now we have a new norm.
Norm.
Let's talk about it. Like Obama in 2015, they had the Ebola epidemic, and he, went and had that famous speech that he said where he was talking about, we've got to jump on top of this pandemic because one day, basically, he explained today.
He did.
That's what he did. He explained word for word exactly what happened today.
Yes,
Not
he
now,
did.
5, 6 years.
And that team was dismantled by Trump when he came into office.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys think it's time to just get rid of the political divides at this point and just have a party for the people?
But that's what the government was made for, the people. And now it's time for us to get back to that. And now the government's forced. Their hand is tied, and they have to give back to the people. I mean, we got a stimulus check. Not everybody got one, me included. But
I didn't either.
yeah. But
And I'm pissed.
who you telling? Checking every
I'm mad
day.
as a motherfucker. I mean, you can check ours,
And
don't
it means
say nothing.
it changed a little bit to let me know that now I may not qualify. That's the only thing they added and
That's
changed.
gay as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
mean
the only thing- yeah.
Politically correct. I
Yeah, I know, just-
apologize to anybody out there.
Yeah, you take the hit.
Hey, look, fuck, that'll be the most attention I got all month. I'm just kidding. But yeah, seriously, I mean, those stimulus checks were awesome, but, it made no sense to me to have an emergency relief fund that people had to qualify for.
Right.
Then it's not emergency
Yeah.
relief.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it wasn't a sufficient amount.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Compared
Yeah.
to, like, given the numbers that you just given, it was like actually one of the lowest amount given.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was. Canada gave $980 every 2 weeks to all of their
Mm-hmm.
citizens. I think it was another country, England or something, that just canceled.
They're giving almost 8,000.
Yeah, they canceled all their mortgages.
Yeah.
All the people got to pay is gas
Yeah.
and electric.
Yeah.
And America is like, you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
pay these
guys
bills.
need to go back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to work and pay these
Yeah, back to
bills.
work.
And pay
Yeah.
these bills.
And I mean, how do you feel about that though? Because at the end of the day, we're the people.
We are.
The people sitting at this table are the people. We are representing the people. How do you honestly feel about going back, opening back up this country, getting back to work?
Well, it kind of showed like when they came out with their, was it the PPP for like the small businesses, and most of the small businesses
Did not get it.
Get the money. You know
No,
what I mean?
we
So
didn't get it.
it shows where the focus is of the government. You know what I mean? They gave the people so less of a money, $1,200.
Right.
Then you got
Yeah.
these
Corporations.
these corporations getting tens of millions
Yeah.
when you have startups like you, me, and him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if
Like,
I
yo,
talked
where,
about it on Kenny's show or with somebody. I mean, I hear you though. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it just shows where the focus of, like, our government is really focused more
Right.
towards these companies that really. I mean, there are companies that decided, like, hey, this is unethical. We do need to turn this money back in. But then there are some companies that did take these tens of millions
Yeah.
of dollars.
$2.2 trillion.
Gone. And
That
like
was
two-
on air.
Yeah,
$2.2
trillion dollars.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can buy a small item.
Tell us what it is.
It takes $999,999 bills plus one to make 1 million.
Dang.
It takes 999 of those million to make 1 billion. And it takes another 999 of those billion to make 1 trillion.
There you go. I ain't see a dime from it.
We got $1,200.
And not all of us. Not all of
And
us.
that's not the entire population.
No.
No, not everybody got
Because-
the
People
money.
under 16 weren't
Yeah.
qualified to get it.
$1,200.
And then
Yeah.
if you were on SSI and someone claims you, you're not getting
It's
anything.
330 million people in America.
Actually, it's 380.
380.
380 million. Yeah.
380 million. You can give all them people $2,000 right there. That still don't make up a daggone bill.
No.
No, I think it is a bill. I think it is a B. Yeah, 2,000.
billion.
300. Yeah,
It's
it's
close
close to
enough.
a B. It's close.
It's just a
about
billion.
200 billion, something like that.
So
Should have did my math before I came out with that.
you know what surprised me though is like people would still somehow show their true colors.
Oh yeah.
There was a man in, I got love for Southern California. Shout out to Cali, man. In Santee, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
a
My
spot.
hometown, San Diego. Like, I don't understand what you think you're doing or how appropriate it is for you to come out wearing a Ku Klux Klan hood in a grocery store.
Really?
What?
Yeah, you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah, so this happened at San Diego County. A man wore a Ku Klux Klan hood as a way to reduce the risk of exposing the coronavirus.
Somebody should have whooped his ass.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Oh my god.
He would have increased the chance to getting a foot in his ass.
yeah, you know, so it's kind of like, it's still like in the midst of everything that's going on, like
People can
racism.
still do that bullshit.
Racism
Right.
can
You
still,
still
like,
showing
pop
who
its
you
It's
are.
head.
amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
In the midst of all this, the last thing I'm concerned with is arguing with anybody, fussing, fighting, or
Yeah.
trying to be divisive. In the middle of all of this, man, we need to be thinking about actually coming together and doing what we need to do to keep our circle safe.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like the few people that I do hang around, like that's my circle. That's it.
Right.
You know, I don't work around a lot of people, thank God. I am an essential worker, so I've been working the whole time. Thank God for that too, even though our hours did change. You know, it's amazing because a lot of people are on unemployment right now. That turned out to be the best deal.
I know. And that's why they're upset. Because
Yeah.
and they want to send people back to work. And did you hear about
That
them?
turned out to be the best
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
They're trying to pay now an additional $12 per hour for the essential workers, so that they can make. If you make 10, you'll make $22,000. I mean $22 an hour. So you can go back to work and get off of unemployment.
Wow.
Because
What
a lot
the
of
fuck
them
is the essential workers already at work?
Yeah.
Where our money at?
Yeah. So
Pay me in
what,
bud.
like the people working at Walmart, they can make now up to what $20. If they're making 10, they can make 20 to
Ball.
22. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if it passed.
Now, in y'all, the brief or the small interactions that you had out there when you've been out there, when you're not quarantined, let's say you're going to the grocery store and putting gas in your car, have you guys noticed a change in human behavior in terms
Yes.
of the way that they're communicating and
Yes.
like, do you think that people are nicer
No.
now? Or
People are fearful.
They're more fearful, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
People are very fearful. You know, normally when you said a smile, you could smile at people. You know, hey, good morning.
Yeah.
There's no good mornings.
There's no good morning.
There's no, hey, get 6 feet back.
Yeah.
You in my space.
This is how I'm walking in QT. I'm walking in 7-Eleven like this.
Yeah.
Don't come in there with a hoodie on, man.
Man.
Nothing but the eyes, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
All I get is, well, what the
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
But it ain't nothing you can do. I mean, you can't. It's so funny though. It's weird as hell. Like it's like you ain't got no mask. We can't serve
You
you.
can't
Yeah.
say
And people look at you strange without the mask.
without the mask.
What's
like-
wrong with you?
Right.
Well, how you know what you're doing?
A month ago, you would have got out that car with any type of mask, on, and it would have been a
And walking
problem.
to with a hoodie on, going to the store with a hoodie
Yeah.
on.
Now you can
911.
cover up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I just hope it brings people together, man, and people can actually look at this situation and go, you know something, we ain't that different.
Mm.
You know, we aren't that different,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, everybody deserves a little bit of love. You know, yeah, man, this shit is crazy. Personally, I'm ready for it to end. I can't wait to get outside. I can't wait to go back to the club.
Have a barbecue, and you know
well,
what
I
I'm
did that this weekend, but yeah,
saying?
I ain't start. Hey, look, I haven't really. I mean, I don't want to say like I've been disrespectful of the disease, the virus, but like, I've been going out, man. I get the hell out of my house, but see, I don't work around nobody.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what I find therapeutic for me is like I have the same desires as you do. Like I can't be in the house for too long. I become stale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it leads to a course of depression.
Yes,
You know what I
it
mean?
can.
So what I found, like my therapy was like, even though I'm not going anywhere, I have to get out and go for a drive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
And let roll the windows down,
Yeah.
just let the air just let me know that hey, I'm still alive and I'm still kind of going through this.
We know you like to
yeah,
drive.
yeah. So I was out. I mean, that's my getting out there. That's my
get that A6 on the road.
Yeah, dip.
That's a 6, right?
That's fine, man. Get it right.
Oh, my
You
fault.
know what I'm saying? Get it
I
right.
wanted to make sure I'm representing
We gotta be in the
the
right
joint
class.
right.
We gotta be in the right
Yeah,
class.
I don't want to. I'm trying to make sure I'm repping the joint right.
Yeah, that's fine, baby.
Kitty out there riding around with the 58 screen TV in the back.
Yeah, man.
What is that, man?
I don't know, man. It's just something to do.
It's a beautiful vehicle.
Yeah, for sure.
Kitty got the Batmobile outside. Got purple lights. And
Okay.
Well, can I respond to something y'all said earlier?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said y'all was talking about is it safe to open up again?
Yeah.
I personally, I'm agreeing with Patricia. I don't think it's safe to completely open up again. Yeah, definitely not the schools right now.
Oh, definitely.
But I think once they come up with a vaccine
Mm-hmm.
and more testing,
Right.
because it's gonna take more than one type of testing to find out who has what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like I said, when your colleague in the school
Yeah.
thought she had it because she couldn't get rid of her fever. But she went to the doctor, and a couple days later, she found out she was negative. But she still has all the symptoms.
She has all the symptoms but one, and they still can't figure out. We had a principal here in Colleyville that just passed away. They thought she had it, but it's pneumonia. But she's been tested 3 times, and they can't figure out. She had every symptom.
They said
for
that
COVID.
test is like
Yeah.
in the back of your brain.
And so like
Yeah.
we had a coworker the same thing. Like she stayed sick forever. It's like
Mhm.
yo, and it's like one of those things. Like, do you really want to go back into an environment where you're just stuck there?
Well, is America opening themselves up? And when I say America, I mean our federal government. Are they opening themselves up for lawsuits? If people do go back to work, they
possible.
open the country back up and people
I
do
think
start
It's
getting.
possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are lawyers.
Class action.
But I'd love to know if that's
That's
even
a good-
a
that's a good
possibility.
thought, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it could really be. I would blame them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're all taxpayers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the situation, most of us, 90% of us, pay taxes to this country. And we've paid taxes to this country for years on years on years. And if it takes us to sit the fuck down for a month and a half and order groceries online and do what we got to do to stay safe, I'd much rather do that than to be forced back out here around people who be coughing, hacking, sneezing,
Yeah.
and passing this damn disease around.
And
Or
you
have it and don't know.
don't know it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm kind of conflicted because I want to get back out.
Right.
But in the same time, it's
Right.
like safety first. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I want to get back out.
And then at
there.
the same time, it's like I said, if you have like younger children or older family members that you're living with, is like you have to be concerned about their safety and well-being as well. So
Yeah.
it's not just about your wants and desires.
So, are we going to be able to have a home test for people? Is this something that they're going to be able to home
Let me
test?
ask you a question. Like,
Is this test going to cause I don't think this test should cost any money.
I mean, if it came from some type of laboratory that the government funded,
Of course
it shouldn't. It shouldn't cost anybody money
It
because
shouldn't, because people are going to die if they don't get it.
yeah.
But we're in
But
a
that was one
country.
of the first things they said, that the test would be free when it came out.
It should
Well,
be.
it should be, but
Okay.
but there's such a limited supply, and when the demand comes in and say, oh, we got 1 million people, who's the first people that wants to benefit from anything? Pharmaceutical
Pharmaceuticals.
companies.
Yeah.
They're always the first one that benefits
Yeah,
from
but it's
this.
subsidized by the federal government. So those people who are supplying
Supposed
these
to be.
tests can't get
Is that where that
reimbursed from the
2.2 trillion going?
Oh, I'm
government. That was
sure.
the first one. The very first one they sent out
Yeah,
was where some of that money went.
supposed to. So we shall see. I mean, but we can't keep enough to know. You
But then
know?
what about these, with the NBA players?
Yes.
That was 2 or 3 of them that came down with
Mhm.
it. That was early on. That was like early March.
Right, but what about
Who paid for
that?
that?
And the actors.
Yeah, how do we, it's so much that is going to suffer from this.
Yeah.
And you know what?
So
like
much.
you start to realize,
Movie
like
theater's done.
you start to realize, oh, that's
Yeah.
Netflix killed that. You know.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the race to open back up.
The
What?
what?
Skating ring.
Oh, that's probably going to be done almost. Well, bowling, skating, you sharing shoes,
You
you
sharing.
know what I'm saying? It's blood on the floor.
But the good thing about this whole thing is you start to see what part of the economy is recession proof.
And what is that?
I mean, like this is recession proof in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You can do this.
Well, first you gotta be making some money, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Any kind of sponsors out there. Sponsored by Health Source Resources. This is hand sanitizer, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, like you like it gives those going back to the class of 2020, it gives them an opportunity to look into like more of their future in terms of what type of career that they can go into and still.
How do we bring sports back, Shug?
I mean, Madden 2020, NBA Live, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we at right now.
Seriously though, how do we bring the NBA back? How do we bring the NFL back? These are American.
Do you realize the rules that would change because of that? Like
Empty stadiums.
Empty stadiums,
yeah.
like contact sports.
We can't do that. They can't do that. They have to open back up for football.
They have to.
Listen.
They have to.
This is a must.
A must.
If you don't want the country to riot, you're gonna want to be open.
The country is gonna have to riot. They're
By the
probably gonna
time
riot.
football
I think he's right. I think he's right.
I mean,
serious.
it's true,
Football.
but okay. Once you start having millions of people in a stadium,
No, they're gonna limit that.
okay, so now you're limiting to
25% capacity.
25%
Every
capacity.
player and coach and official is gonna get tested before they walk out every week. They already said that. So
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
Damn, this fucking disease.
It's weird. It messes everything up.
I mean, and just think, this is not just something limited to the U.S. This is a
Right. It's a
world
pandemic.
shutdown.
And this is, like I said, this is just a warning shot.
Yeah, I mean to tell.
Just a warning shot. You know the difference between the only reason that this particular disease isn't as like they didn't, you know, they're scared because of its transmissibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can be, it can be passed on from person to person
Mm-hmm.
easily. Problem is, you don't know for
You
2
don't know.
weeks.
Right,
The other issue is, you can walk around and not even know you got it.
right.
For a while.
Yet the dude next
Ever.
to you
Yeah.
could die in 2 weeks
Yeah.
because
2
of it.
days.
You know, well, when Ebola, SARS, stuff like that, those were diseases where like you caught it, you fucking knew.
Yeah.
You know, right away. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? And the transmissibility of it wasn't as free as this one. You know.
Well, I mean, like you gotta like to me now. I'm thinking about this. Like, if this thing was created in a lab, like shouldn't there be some type of restrictions? Like you can see, like, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be playing around with this type of thing here, and we need to figure out a way to destroy it. Versus
You
trying
would-
to
if
figure
it was
out some
created
type
in the lab,
of
there
cure.
is a vaccine.
There is a vaccine. That's what I mean. Like,
So-
I find it very hard to go with the propaganda that it came from any type of bat, like somebody was eating some
I
bat.
think it was chicken. They were saying it's chicken, just like.
You know what I mean? Like,
They
cause
might have thought that bat tastes like chicken.
like think about it. Like, nobody just wakes up in the morning in 2019 and say, I want to be the first person to eat a bat. Like, if you decide to
I mean,
eat a bat,
but
But there are
Chinese wet
countries.
market, dude.
Yeah, there are countries
These
that
dudes
eat
eat dogs.
Yeah,
You know,
eat
so-
so
everything.
it's not from that.
There's one good thing that happened with COVID.
What's that?
That the Chinese people took dog off their list of food. It's the only thing. Now you want to talk about eating a bat?
Now let's talk about.
They just took dog off of that joint in
I know.
2020, Slim.
I know. And also, like, I've been hearing reports about, the racial tensions in China are increasing
yeah.
with
Yes.
Africa.
Yes.
What about that right here?
No, he'll get it.
Good luck, man. You all right, Kenny? I don't care what Patricia say about you when you're not around. You all right with me?
Like, what do you think about that?
What?
The
The
racial
racial
tensions
tensions.
in China with the African community.
Well,
And they're trying to, I guess China is trying to paint the picture that Africans are
I
all
like to know
dirty.
what the hell black people doing over there. in the
Well, you
first
gotta
Well,
understand-
people
That's
that
my
work
first
over
question.
there, there's people that, work for the government that's there. Hell, I mean, there's a lot of teachers that are over there teaching.
I'm just.
But they're trying to flip that script off themselves.
Mm.
If you flip it to another race, you can get it off of you.
Mhm.
Because they are the ones
That
who
was
are the
delicious.
originators
Thank you, sir.
of the disease. But now if we say, because now that there's more black people or people of of
Color,
of color
yeah.
that are getting it. You can now say, well, they're the ones.
So are you going to support their establishment?
And
at
that's
this
the
point?
next thing. Is like wearing that you've purchased that's in this room that was made in China.
My
Well,
hair.
I mean, well, don't worry about what we have now, but what are you going to do going forward?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have to actually. What I plan to do going forward is to be more minority conscious. Like, I would like to invest more into countries in Africa and see if maybe some countries in Africa can do the same things that China is doing. I mean, they have the resources to do it.
I think
But
we
who-
should invest in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, I think we should invest in cotton.
I mean, black people in general.
Milwaukee.
Here, you know, just in the country, in the States.
Why Milwaukee? Like,
I mean,
What's in
Milwaukee, Texas, Dallas, Austin, you know,
Yeah.
small businesses
Oh,
here.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
of
You know,
course.
it's great to go to Ghana and donate some money. but-
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But when you
Yeah.
when you start thinking about that, you start getting into like labor costs is just one of the things that small businesses won't be able to afford if they.
Right. Have any of you guys been doing any dabbling in the stock market at all?
I don't
I
understand the
haven't,
stock market, so no.
But there are people that have
But
come
you're
in
an
here.
accountant, dude.
That's totally different, man. Accountants tell you what happened. You know what I'm saying? We could just look at the past month and tell you what happened. We look more towards the past. Than
You're a
the future.
damn accountant.
Nah, this right here, like what? You know what I'm saying? I just put $300. What you mean I don't have $300? Like,
No, I'm
stock
just
market
saying
like
it
that.
because I think, like, okay, let's just say for, you know, it's almost the end of the show, people, by now. Let's just say for conspiracy theory's sake, right?
Okay.
That all of this was just a plot ploy, whatever it
To
was.
put 5G towers up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah,
if that's what
let's
you
go with that. Let's go
We'll
with
go
that.
with that, sure.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I think the real robbery that's happening is on the stock market. The whole country crashed.
Yeah, the whole world.
Everything hit rock bottom.
Mhm.
If you're rich right now,
Mm-hmm.
you could just go and buy everything up for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Reopen the fucking country,
Bam.
get paid for free.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to sell the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
You ain't even got to sell the drugs.
Yeah.
Gas was negative, Slim.
But you got to know, well, what are stocks that are going to be more profitable, like pharmaceutical, like if you know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
pharmaceutical, tech.
Gas.
Yeah.
Actually, I've read somewhere that these data processing companies
IT.
is going to be the new wave.
It is. I mean, because everything we're doing now, work-wise, a lot of work is virtual.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we doing now, virtual streaming.
Virtual.
is
Everything.
gonna be
Yeah.
really high.
Yeah.
Can we do that here yet?
We doing it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know I'm not
Like
talking about
Skype
that.
and
I'm
all
talking
of
about
that.
like having someone on the show,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
virtually from somewhere
Yeah,
else.
we
Okay,
can.
cool.
Remote, yeah.
Yeah.
We can do it.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So-
I mean, do you think that a lot of your companies are gonna? Do you think that they're gonna actually see, like, hold up? In COVID, we sent everybody home and had them work from home.
Mm-hmm.
We saved over $30,000 not
Electricity.
paying for the offices
Yeah.
that we rent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You better bet.
Yes.
I'll tell you, IBM.
Yeah.
IBM has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think it's like 72% of the employees work remotely.
Yeah.
Right.
That's globally.
What do you
Around
think
the
about
world.
schools? Do you think schools
Yeah.
might
I think
adopt
schools-
it?
Schools,
transition as
schools
well.
are transitioning because one thing that we did see is how, okay, now that we see how this works, now we have to get everyone else on board because a lot of schools, a lot of students are not made for public schools.
You're right. You're right.
And what we're going to do here at KMW Media, we're going to actually get with teachers like her and specialists to come in and do their teaching
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
record
Record
it.
it.
And we'll have it available on websites for students to go and get it.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
dope.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, these are
That's
all
the
good.
next
Yeah.
I think we've got to
I'm
find
looking for
ways.
investors now.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. That's really smart. We need to find ways to get involved in the wave that's about to happen because at the end of the day, this is happening.
Yeah. It's the new
This is
norm.
happening.
It's happening.
It's the new norm.
So get used to it. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, with that comes with you know, they call it a paradigm shift.
Yes.
You know, so it's like the way. It's like discovering that Pluto is not actually
A planet.
A planet. You know what I mean? So you have to realize, like, hey, it's a dwarf planet
Yeah.
or whatever you want.
That really impacted my life.
Oh yeah.
Them to get rid of that planet. my life.
Forever.
I was just mad when I found out Pluto wasn't the dog on the Clubhouse. Nah, seriously, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're dealing with our new life in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
For somehow, some way, this is going to change our life for good.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like when we had 9/11.
9/11,
Yeah, remember everything changed.
Yeah, it did.
How we fly,
Yeah.
how we do everything, and this too.
So what about flights?
I know.
Now, if you can tell me that you opening up airports and we can get in there, see,
the airports never did they shut down?
Never shut down.
They
they
didn't
never
shut
shut
down.
down.
They didn't
So
shut down.
let's talk about things that pissed us off about Corona. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Let's
because
go
I got a
into
couple
that.
things that pissed me off about Corona.
Let's
okay?
go to it.
God damn it. Number one,
Yes.
who the hell are you to tell me I can't go out my house past 11 o'clock or some shit? So you send my black ass to work all day. You tell me I got to go out here in the world and work and wear a mask. And then when I go drive out at night at 12 o'clock, you want to pull me over, tell me I'm supposed to be at home? Coronavirus don't just come out at night, nigga. You. How about that? How about y'all? What y'all?
I really miss eating in restaurants. I'm not even gonna lie to you about that.
I do too.
That's
Patios?
Yeah,
Or
you know,
somebody.
it's like it's so petty.
Shit.
It's like first world problems, man. We can't go to no restaurant. What? Like it's
Right,
a big deal.
yeah.
It's petty, but one thing I can say is I appreciate spending time with my family, though.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
it's like you don't realize how
Yeah.
busy you are, and
Mhm.
just trying to make $1. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you just seeing your family and passing and going, but now it's like you actually get a chance to be reintroduced to your family again.
Yeah,
know?
you are reintroduced.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Very true, very true. How about you, Patricia? What you don't like about COVID?
I do need to try on clothes at times.
Oh,
I can't
yes.
just
Oh, my
order
gosh.
because I have a special shape that
I
everything,
understand. Me too. I never do.
everything, everything. Yeah.
Everything got to fit right.
Yeah, it gotta fit right.
It got to
I
tuck
can't-
here.
yeah, and fit
fold
here.
I get it.
I can't order and then have to send it back. Okay, now I'm mad because I wanted to wear that Friday. So
Right.
So have you guys been doing a lot of online shopping?
no.
I ain't been doing no
Actually, I
shopping
haven't.
because I don't know what
I don't-
tomorrow's gonna bring.
Tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
a
this
lot
is
of
safe.
people been holding on to their bread because you
Mhm.
just don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I mean, at the end of the day, we could have a spike in these numbers and they could be
Right.
like, look, man, we just gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
It's all we need, really. Because one thing I've noticed about living here in Texas, and coming from the East Coast, is, I got a lot of family over there on the East Coast. So, say new music come out, they'll have it like 2 weeks before us, or new things happening, it'll happen there 1st and then make its way over here. And with this COVID thing, when they got hit as hard as they
Nothing's
did,
going there.
I was like, that first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I was on lockdown.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hell no,
Yeah.
because I knew it was serious over there,
Mm-hmm.
but it never really happened that way here. But then again, we can't tell that.
We don't know.
We don't know because Texas is so freaking big.
It's
Yeah.
really big. You think about places like New York and
Yeah, New
Yeah.
York to
people are on
Maryland.
top of
Right.
each other.
New
like-
York to
yeah,
Maryland is Dallas to Houston.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So you would have to take all the cases in that specific area. And then again, I mean, New York probably has more people in
More
it
people.
than-
Concentration.
yeah, per
Mhm.
capita.
Yeah.
8 million people.
Yeah. That's a lot.
8
Just
million
call-
people. And
I
sitting
think-
on top of each other.
Yeah.
And you got to think about public transportation. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Right.
that's what I was getting at with the
Yeah.
plane. So we gonna go breathe recycled air on this fucking plane, but it ain't,
Somebody in a call.
ain't no coronavirus filters in this
No.
motherfucking plane.
No.
Niggas is farting and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. Those type of things scare me. Those type of things.
So travel will change. So more people will drive.
Probably driving.
Yeah. More people will drive.
That's becoming the safest way.
Nah, they got to come up with a way to. They gonna come up with some bullshit. They gonna say they fixed it, they found it, they sprayed the air with drones and
Yeah.
fixed it.
Fixed that they sprayed it with Lysol.
Because you know how you've seen those videos of like Spain and they
Yeah.
spraying stuff down.
Yeah, they
How
spray
can
it
you-
with Lysol.
How can you spray down Dallas? Like you know how you
I
Dallas-
saw in Dubai that they sent drones out, dude.
Wow.
They was fucking wing to wing.
Wow.
spraying the fucking streets.
Wow.
No bullshit.
And yeah, I think that would be kind of like a great task to try to do here, like try to spray from Fort Worth to Arlington and see what
That's because
happens.
we're spread out.
Well,
Yeah.
they can send drones out to kill people with facial recognition. I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's
they
true.
can spray the fucking streets. if
Yeah,
they
that's
wanted
true. They
to.
can drop
They
some
wanted to.
Lysol or inject some Lysol.
Yeah, like
I don't think that they. I think that I would like to hear Dr. Fauci speak.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
the one that I want to hear.
Yeah.
I like to see what he thinks.
Your president has him on lockdown right now.
Yeah, he is, ain't he?
Yeah.
You ain't heard from
Nothing.
him?
No,
Nothing.
not from the Senate though. He allowed him to talk to the Senate.
Did
He
he?
couldn't talk to Congress.
Can he talk to us?
No.
Well, I don't know. But
No.
Can we hear him?
No.
Well, I don't know if that's behind closed doors, but he is allowed to talk to the Senate.
He's to them, but
But
he
not,
can't talk to
he
us.
can't talk to Congress right now.
Wow.
He's too busy.
This motherfucker told people to drink disinfectant.
No, not just drink. Inject it.
Injected.
Just get out and vote.
Inject it.
November.
Yeah.
Just-
Inject it.
No matter what it's gonna be, mail in or whatever. Get out
As
and vote.
much as I cringe to know that I'm gonna have to vote for Biden,
Oh man.
I'm gonna
Can we-
vote for Biden.
What's the lesser evil?
Exactly.
I mean, I ask people the same question.
Andrew Yang, please.
But look,
But
what's the number one
Yang
reason
may
why-
have some influence in that
He
with
doesn't
Biden
have
because he worked with Obama before.
Yang is gonna win next time because people see that his plan
It's
was the
needed.
best plan.
It's needed.
From the gate. I was talking this UBI shit months ago. Whatever.
You are.
Yeah.
That shit is the best
That
plan.
$10,000. Yeah.
I mean,
Or
if
$1,000 a
people-
month.
Yeah.
If we had it now,
Right.
if we were getting $1,000 or $1,500 a month, people would not hurt as bad.
Exactly.
You would have
be
a
getting it
backup
every
plan.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be getting it every
I mean,
month.
I'm not paying any other bills, but I can at least feed my family. I'm not paying this car. I'm
Yeah.
not paying whatever. But I will.
It's
I
all
can
about
at
your
least feed
hours, though. Most
Yeah.
people are hourly, and if
Yeah.
shit isn't open back up, you may have a job, but you're not making the
The
same
same amount.
hours.
Right.
So which means you're
Right.
not making the same money.
Right.
Which means you can't get unemployment, you can't
Right.
get a stimulus check because
Right.
you're working, but you're still fucking hurting.
Mhm.
Right.
Because you're not making as much.
Right.
Let me stop telling my life story.
It's all right. It's all right. This is therapeutic. This is therapeutic.
All right, man. We about an hour in there, man. We gonna go cue up the music, man. I appreciate you, Shirley,
Man,
for coming
that's
out,
no
man.
problem,
This is
no
good.
problem,
You
no
know, I
problem. You
love
gotta
you,
stay
brother.
safe. I love you too,
It
man.
is
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
good to see you, man.
Yeah,
I
you
haven't
too,
seen
man.
you in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
but I hope to see you again real
Yeah,
soon.
y'all too, man. You know what I'm
Patricia,
saying?
thank you
Like,
so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Teachers are talking. Which
Teachers
day
are
you doing
talking.
it?
Well, when we can get some people.
Right, I understand.
yeah,
Anything for me, don't nobody want to come out. Anything?
yeah.
Yeah, teachers are talking, y'all. We'll be back
Sunday,
at you.
just tune in.
Yep, that's the Man Cave, and we out of here.
yeah.